Hey everyone, this is Elias from RevMatch Media, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2021 Ford Bronco Outer Banks trim. Now, Ford says this is the off-roading with style trim, and I would say we'd have to agree. Let's go ahead and get started. We get started in the front, and first I want to address the rapid red color. This thing looks incredible. It is really nice. It stands out. It is perfect for what you need for this exact vehicle. The Bronco, you really want to have a fun color, and this red looks really good. The yellow I think would be my next option, and classic white for the obvious reasons. So though with the front end, we do have this black grille in the front, which is really nice. We do have the LED headlights, the round LED headlights, the signature lights, which just look really good. We do have the LED fog lights in the front, and we have some toe points down here. This bumper is plastic, but again, you can aftermarket is just flooded with all the different awesome options that you can get for this. But again, this is more on the styling side. So you be the judge if this is styling or yeah, but it does look good. And we have these little points up here. They do mention that they can hold max load of 150 pounds, which is nice if you need to tie something on top. My favorite thing about this though is visually, when you're inside, this is so easy to drive because you're using these as reference points. It breaks the lineup of the hood. You don't just see this seamless hood, you see this to help you guide, make sure, not just when you're on trails, but also when you are in the city. So yeah, overall though, this looks really good. We have the front facing camera as well to help out, make sure you're not hitting anything, but also in certain off-road modes, you are able to turn that on to, really see if you're trying to go up a hill. Sometimes you're just really looking at the clouds. This will make sure or help you look down on the ground on that nice big screen. Yeah, so we have that. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have under this hood. We get under the hood and we have the 2.7 liter V6 EcoBoost engine. It is cranking out 330 horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque. It is going through the 10-speed auto and then through Ford's 4x4 system for the Bronco. Now, a couple of things with this. Well, first, the elephant in the room is someone had a lot of mud fun with this. It's a bit dirty underneath. We haven't had fun like this in this one, so we can't claim this, but you can see how this vehicle just makes you want to have fun. And this powertrain does too. It is a shame though, we can't have the best of both worlds. Give us the V6 with a manual transmission. That's what we really want. The manual transmission and the clutch on that 4-cylinder is so good. It is one of my favorite transmissions and clutches that I've driven in a really long time. Now, with that being said though, the 4-cylinder lacked the power that this has. So when we would shift, we would just get out of boost range because it was such a narrow power band. Not with this though. With this, it's really linear with the power. Some may have to attribute to the 10-speed. I'll give the 10-speed that. It is a very smooth transmission, but we do have the more power. Give us the manual option. But again, this setup is good. I just want that manual. It's just good. If it weren't a good manual, then I could care less. But it really was a good manual in this. Yeah, it's really in there. And yeah, it's a little on the dirty side, but this guy is really great performing, especially when you have it in this big configuration of the 4 doors. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have in those wheels and tires. We get down to the wheel and tire package, and we have the 18-inch wheel design on this. It is wrapped in the Bridgestone Dueler in 255/70. Now, this wasn't bad. It was significantly more civilized wheel and tire. We do again have a larger 18-inch wheel as opposed to, I believe the other one was 17-inch wheel with just more meat to the tire. I would honestly prefer that option. So option out your Bronco with that, the one that we had in the blue two-door version. But yeah, if you don't want to though, this is just as good. If you don't want to pay for really expensive tires, this is a great setup. Really smooth, no issues there, and it can still take on some gravel like this. The brakes were really good, especially getting this big guy stop. No complaints there. We do see the sway bar here. This model doesn't have the option of disconnecting it because again, it's a more city style with styles. It's a more city style Bronco. But yeah, overall, it wasn't too bad of a setup. Let's go ahead and see what we have on the side. We get to the side and we can see this design is really nice. I love the boxy feel to it. I love just the little design cues to it. It's really good. I love the side profile of the Bronco. Yes, this does have 4 doors. Yes, this is the better, more practical Bronco. Yes, I'm gonna hear it from you guys saying, no, a true Bronco should be 2-door. Sure, if you're single or don't carry a lot of people with you. But if you do, and you're looking for a family vehicle, you need to get the 4 doors. We take a look at the fender, and yeah, we have a nice squared off design. We do have those over the fender covers. This is in the same color of the Bronco itself. It's not the black like you do with the other ones, because again, we're talking about style. So we do have that. Honestly, I do like the black. It would definitely break up with break up this large amount of red going on here. Now, the other thing, yes, I'm gonna complain about it. I'm tired of these stickers. They are so bad. It's just low quality. It looks like something I printed on my little printer and stuck it on here. Come on, Ford, give us a proper badge for this. Don't just give us a sticker. But the design is nice. I'll give you guys that. We have the mirrors here. Again, nice colored mirrors. We do have the zone lighting on this, which is nice if you're off-roading and just need to illuminate what's around you. We do have the area for accessories here, like we did with the blue Bronco. Unfortunately, though, this does not have the switches inside like we did for the auxiliary power, like we did with the blue one. So yeah, it is kind of lacking that. We do have this black side step on the side here, which is nice. It's easy to get into this Bronco, makes it nice and convenient. This is the hardtop. The hardtop does come out. The front ones you can bring out. The back part, you have to take the rails off. There's no way, there's not enough space for you to kind of jiggle things around. So just be prepared for that. You do have some covers here. So when you do take this off, you can put that there. I'll be putting the link on how to remove the top because I was trying to do it without it and I realized something isn't right. But we have that. We do have the rear glass on here because of the hard top, and yeah, the wheels look really nice. They're a nice size for the Bronco itself. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the key fob, and we have it. Gonna go ahead and put it in my pocket, and when I place my hand in here, it unlocks and I can go ahead and open it. We have a frameless glass here because we can actually take this door off. We're not gonna do it today, but it's a couple of bolts, nothing too bad, and you can actually store them in the back, which we'll definitely see. So we do have that. Now we push the button there and this guy gets locked. Let's take a look at the rear. Nope. So it does not have the sensor in the rear for me to go ahead and open up the rear. So I do have to place my hand there and then go ahead and open this up. And again, we can take this door off and put it in the back. So we have that. We can't lock it either. We do have to lock it from here. And that's how the keyless entry works in this. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have in the back. We get to the back and we can see it's just a square box. It really is, but there's a lot of nice little design cues. We do have the taillights that are in LED form, and I do like this design. Again, I've mentioned it many times in my videos. Clear cover on the outside to have some nice design element on the inside. So really nice touch to that. We do have the plastic bumper in the back. It's we have the tow points there on this, and we have the full-size spare on the back with the backup camera on here. Now, a couple of things with this. So key fob is in my pocket. I can go ahead and grab, just like we do with the front doors, and we can open this, or at least we can try to open this. This scares me. So I thought it was just the blue one, but apparently, I guess this has to be a Bronco thing, where the door, you kind of have to push it, give it, you know, some give. Same thing when you go to close it, because it just kind of swings back. That shock down there probably isn't the best, and I'm having to, you know, just kind of do one of those. Yeah, my neighbor really was loving this and wanted to take a look at it, and when he opened it up, he immediately noticed it, where he was like, why do I have to really push that out? Yeah, so that can be a little annoying. I'm just scared. It's more of me being scared of breaking that, because I feel like I'm having to push the shock to work. And we go ahead and we open that up. So we do have a glass rear. It does have a windshield wiper, which is nice. We do have the defroster, all the luxuries, so to speak, for that. And we take a look at the back, and we have a ton of space back here. There's a ton of space. You know, I have all my gear. You can put the full-size doors in here. They do have the covers, like I mentioned. So I am able to grab one of these, and they actually have markings on them. It tells you which door it is. But yeah, this is nice. So that way you can put them in there and they don't get scratched, and you're good to go. You can also tie them down on the bottom. They do have their clips. So just really nice package overall. We do have a 12 volt outlet back here, which is a nice touch if we're needing additional little power there. So I'll go ahead and close this off. And again, yeah. Okay, we have that. Now, key fob. So you push the button twice and you get that V6 going. Not the loudest, but I guess you'll have to do till we get the Bronco Raptor. Well, let's go ahead and hop in for a ride. We get inside of the Bronco, and this thing is really nice. Now, a couple of things with the doors. Obviously, just like you can in other Broncos, with this one, you can take the doors off, you know, make this really open. The finishes are really nice. I do like the feel of these doors. Now, with this being not the black interior or full black interior, we do have maybe not the best color combination for any other car. But for the Bronco, it works really well. It's this blue, it's this like super dark blue and brown, but it looks so good. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but the interior is really well done. It is a little bit on the quirkier side, so you do have to have kind of a more quirky personality, not be someone, you know, it's a little bit louder in a subdued sort of way, so to speak. So yeah, but overall it's nice. We get to the seats, and again, we have, like I mentioned, that blue and that brown, and it's really nice. You know, the stitching is blue. They're super comfortable, no complaints there. These do have the power option to them. Really easy to find that sweet spot. My wife was able to sit on it, you know, sit position, really comfortable, no issues. And she's a little bit shorter than me, but yeah, she felt like, you know, she could really take a long trip in this and not have an issue with it. So yeah, really comfortable, really nice looking seats. And again, that little Bronco is nice touch there. Now we get to the steering wheel, and the steering wheel is Bronco. Yeah, I mean, we have the Bronco steering wheel. Nothing too wow about it. It does feel nice in your hands. The leather isn't too bad. Kind of the squeeze to it is okay. The buttons are nice, so I do like the volume buttons and the next track buttons. Those are really nice to navigate. Same thing with the menu for the gauge cluster. No complaints there. The only thing I would really say with this, and we'll kind of get to it in the performance side, is the shifter. I mean, I wish this had paddle shifters. That would definitely be really nice to have in the Bronco, or in this Bronco. We get over to the gauge cluster, and it's nice. It's a smaller screen, so we still do have an analog gauge for the speedometer, and we have your gauge where you can, you know, switch between different types of gauges that you have. You have the turbo, you have oil temperature, transmission temperature, battery voltage, off-road, you know, if you have any lockers activated, pitch and roll if you're going off-roading, tire pressure, and then my favorite, gauges. So gauges is going to give you everything, or it's going to give you the boost, you know, engine temperature and trans temperature and your battery voltage. So it gives it to you in a nice little compact area. One thing I'm not a big fan of is really the tachometer on this. The tachometer is a little, I don't know, it just, I wish it were more than just that little line to kind of show you, you know, where your RPMs are at. So it would have been nice to have a bar fill up, or, you know, just a different look, really. Now we get over to the roof in this, so we'll talk about the roof. So this is the hardtop. We are able to take it off completely because this has the bars on the top. You are needing to remove those bars to get the back part off, because you can't really lift it because of that little lip that each side has. The front ones, though, you can kind of wiggle it out of there because it only has the lip on the outer part, not on the middle, because it is a split top in the front. So that is a nice touch to have there. Again, if you just want to go half topless, so to speak, so you do still have that option there. Now up here with the other Bronco, we did have the switches, which I really love, the auxiliary switches for, you know, accessories that you may want to add to this. But in this one, since it's a more like a city or mall crawler, so to speak, we do have for your sunglass holder there. Yeah, I think I would like the switches to outfit this with more accessories if I wanted to. Now we come up here to the dashboard, and we do have that little mount, that little GoPro style mount, or that little mount for any accessory you may want. And we have a USB connection right there, which is nice. So you don't have to run a really long cable. You can just plug it right in there. So good touch to that. We come here to the controls of the drivetrain, and this is where I know what's missing here. And yeah, it makes me want to go up a trim level. So what we do have is rear locker. We have the turning function that this has. I forget the name. I'll add it at the bottom. It's really good. I love this thing. We have traction control and we have our hazards. What we are missing is the front locker. So you, with other more off-road Broncos, I guess you could say, you do have the option of locking the front individually from the rear. So if you don't want to, you know, if you just need the power up front or need to lock up front, you have that. You don't have to resort to locking all four in order to get the front going. And we have the sway bar disconnect. So if we need more articulation, we have that option, but not in this one. So yeah, this guy doesn't have it. We come to the infotainment system though, and this thing is not lacking anything. It is big, it is massive, it is easy to read, easy to navigate. My favorite thing about this is having this split view here, so I can go ahead, like I'll put my maps here, so if I'm trying to see where you know, where I am, it'll find me there. So I have my Apple my Apple Maps here set up, and then I can have my music set here, so that way, you know, my important stuff is here, but I still have my music there to go to the next track if I want to, and be good. I don't have to resort to having this as my music, or if I have the map and then I have to switch over to music or anything. It's split view, works well, love this. So it's definitely one of my favorites. Or in this case, how I had it before was my fuel economy, so I can have it there. Then we have the AC controls, you know, very forward, no issues there. Heated seats were nice and toasty. One of these days that it's somehow turned to be 40 degrees. So yeah, we were able to make sure that our butts were toasty with the butt warmers on this. We come down here and we do have the connection for your phone. We have the USB connection, USB-C and USB-A. Probably one of my favorite things is the wireless charger. This has a wireless charger. It works really well. It is actually charging my device right now, and I don't have my phone plugged in because this has a wireless Apple CarPlay. Yes, thank you. It does have it, so I am able to. Yeah, Jeep, I'm looking at you. Come on, we need Uconnect 5 in Jeeps. So it is nice to have that disconnected, and I just have the cable for my wife if she wants to charge her device on there. We come to the shifter, and this is where I really wish. I don't know, a couple of things. It's a nice shifter. It's nice and clunky. It feels really heavy duty, so to speak. So you know, normal park, drive, reverse, neutral, drive, and we have a manual mode. And that's what my complaint would be. When you go into manual mode, the shifting is on the side of the shifter. So you go up and down with the buttons. That's nice, but I wish I had them on the wheel. Then we get to the cup holders, really nice and big, no complaints there. They are definitely great sized, no issues. And we have our goat modes. So with this, so every Bronco trim has kind of a different set of goat modes. This one we have normal, then we have eco, we have sport, we have slippery, and mud ruts, and finally sand. Now, one of my favorite things about the Bronco is the power windows. You're probably wondering what's so special about, power windows. They just go up and go down by the flick of a switch. Not all of them are created equally. So this does have all auto down, which is good. Yes, that's awesome. I love that. But it also has auto up, which it blows my mind how many cars and SUVs and off-roaders don't have that. Imagine if you're, about to hit some trails and just you see a big cloud of dust coming up and your windows maybe were down. You can just flick the switch and they will go up automatically without you needing to hold it down. Yeah, that's always the scenario I bring up, but if it starts raining, you want to go ahead and bring them up with just a flick of a switch. So it's nice. It's such a small thing, but definitely like that we have that. Then we get to the armrest, and the armrest is fairly small, but it doesn't like extend out, but it's pretty good. It's positioned or given you enough that your hand can rest on the shifter and you not have a problem. Passenger, maybe a different story, but I'm driving, so we do have that. And then we inside, there's not much space. Don't expect to have too much, things to really hide in there. We get to the back, and the back is really comfortable. The back is big. This is the 4-door, so compared to the 2-door that I had last time, this is definitely, if you have a family, if you're gonna be hauling people or you're gonna be with friends and family members, you definitely want to get the 4-door. It is way more comfortable and way more practical back there to get in, to get out. It is what it is, really. So we do have that. Then we also have, and you can see my kid seat is not in here, but I was able to put him in here with the booster seat and with the other seat with no issues. And you were set to go. Now we get to the trunk, and like we saw, the trunk is nice and big. It can hold all the doors in there with them in the bag. You can secure them. Just a lot of options, and I'll be linking the video so you guys can see how to store that and how to latch it down in the description. But yeah, it's a really good, useful storage area in the back. Now let's talk performance. We're dealing with the 2.7 liter V6 EcoBoost engine. It is cranking out 330 horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque. It is connected to the 10-speed auto and then to the Bronco or the Ford's 4x4 system. Now, a couple of things with this. Now, do I wish we can have the best of both worlds? Yes. The manual transmission in that blue one was a blast to drive. I loved it. The only problem though was that, yeah, it needed more power to stay in boost. You know, it was such a smaller engine that it really had a large kind of gap of power when you would go from red line to the next gear. The gears were too long for that engine is basically what I'm saying. But with this one, having that extra power, that extra displacement, definitely will, I feel like that would be the ideal setup. I wish that were possible. But the 10-speed is great though. The 10-speed is great. It's super smooth when you need it to be. It's a lot of fun when you need it to be. But yeah, the performance, and it don't sound half bad. Granted, there's a lot of wind noise right now, but for the speed we're going, it's actually pretty bearable. Just turn up the tunes a little bit with that B&O sound system, and yeah, you should be you should be good to go with your ride. But yeah, I mean, I just wish that were the case, again, with the manual transmission and this. Now on the road, these wheels and tires have been fine. They've been super smooth. Like I said, we've been hearing more of the roof noise than really the wheels and tires, the grooves or anything like that. So it's been pretty good. Obviously, we have to consider this is literally a can. There's not much to this roof, but yeah, with the hardtop, it's definitely a better option. And again, it's not a bad frequency of sound that can be annoying. Just couple of volume turns there, and you're good to go. But yeah, this has been a pretty good, fun, and it doesn't sound half bad. Bronco. Now let's go ahead and have some fun on our unpaved road. Now we're about to hit that unpaved road, so I am going to actually switch my goat mode to slippery. Now, yeah, this doesn't have Baja mode, which was probably what I would normally be doing here, but I like slippery because the gravel is a little bit on the slipperier side. It's a smaller gravel, and I do like that I still have traction control on, because I did try the what was the mode that I tried? I tried the mud ruts, and it was a little too aggressive, and yeah, it was almost again, it really isn't made for that mode, isn't for this kind of unpaved road. So slippery was definitely really good because it did give me again that traction control safety there. And yeah, let's put this in manual mode, and yeah, so the suspension is pretty good. The brakes on this are actually really good. We can see there are some pretty bad roads here. The only thing though with slippery, you do not get the front facing camera. If we were to switch it over to the I believe it's sand, or maybe actually I believe it is full mud ruts, it does, yes. So mud ruts does give us the front facing camera. We'll stay on that for a little bit, I guess, so that you guys can see. But this, the body roll is really nice on this. You can get it you can get it really going, even though it's a big off-road or SUV, I guess, if you want to call it. It really does the job of feeling comfortable in this, even with the bigger bigger wheels in this, and the brakes really get this guy stopped. So let me go ahead and switch it back to the slippery. So that's getting turned there. Yeah, we lose the camera, unfortunately. I wish we could have that as an option to always have it on, but I mean, this is pretty smooth, and again, it's keeping me fairly in control, really in control. There's I don't feel the rear swaying from power or anything like that. It's working really well. Oh yeah, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, it's basically a fun vehicle. I do like this. What would I what would I get instead of this? I'm still stuck on that wild track. It checks off all the boxes for me. This is nice. My wife really loved this. This again was more on the everyday commuter kind of thing. So that's where she really liked it. But she still likes the idea that should she have to, you know, deal with bad terrain, she feels comfortable in this. Yeah. Well, guys, I've had a blast in the Ford Bronco, and remember, find the right gear. See ya.